This is your government video on federalism. Federalism is a constitutional arrangement that the Founding Fathers put into the U.S. Constitution, which sets up a very special form of government called federalism. And this is the first time a major country has set up their government this way. Federalism means they're breaking up the country into federal, state, and local government. We know that they created separation of powers, which is 3 separate branches of government, but federalism is layering it between a national government, state governments, and then local. Previous governments, like in England, had a very strong federal government run by a monarchy. And they had some town councils, but they really didn't have a separate level of state government. Under the Articles of Confederation, the U.S. sought to set up a confederacy, which is a whole bunch of independent little countries. And under a confederacy, the state government is supreme. The state can decide whatever they want, but they do not have to follow laws created by the federal government. And we know that the Articles of Confederation wasn't very successful. In fact, we had to get rid of it and rewrite a new constitution. So with only these 2 prior types of government, the Founding Fathers have to figure out something new. And they decide to create a government which has elements of both confederacy and unitarian or federal government. And this does a couple of things. It allows them to create a federal government so they can create a national military which will protect all of the states together, and can create diplomacy and can tax its citizens for large federal projects which they think are important for safety and security, things like creating and printing currency. But they also want to allow states to have individual decisions. So citizens who live in Arizona might want to pay very little property taxes. But the downside to paying very little property taxes is that your public schools in Arizona are not going to be well funded. But people in, let's say, Connecticut might not mind paying high property taxes, but in return, they get quality public schools, and they do not have to save up money to send their kids to private school. And these are just differences that exist from state to state, and they allow people to decide whether you want to live in one state or another. And as states compete for population to live there, it allows the states to advance what they think is best for the group of citizens in their state. So your technical definition of federalism is a constitutional arrangement where the power of government is separated between subdivisions of government. We just happen to call these subdivisions of government layers of government or federal, state, and local government. If you want to think of it in a different way, federalism is like a multi-layer cake where you can have one vanilla layer, you can have a strawberry layer, and you can have a chocolate layer. With federalism and federal government being the highest, the state government in the middle, and the local government at the lowest level. A unitarian government is what they had under monarchies, a very strong federal government that distributed all the tax dollars and had all the power. That's like one single layer cake. And then we originally tried a confederacy, which is like a whole bunch of little cupcakes. All of them are technically separate, but near each other, so they have a loose band of friendship.